Hey, real quick, I just want to preface this video here to let you know ahead of time, this is involved, okay? This is a marathon. There ain't no sprinting here. This is camping out. This is deep diving. This is going through the systems and settings. This one is involved. This is the longest video I have ever made for any product review. So yeah, it was a new experience for me as well. Go grab your favorite drink, kick your feet up, kick back and relax, and we'll get into this one. This is for the newbies out there. If you've got no experience with an Android radio like I did, this one is for you. This is what I needed before I purchased anything. I couldn't find this kind of a video anywhere. Everybody's just flying through settings, zoom, zip, 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 zoom, like, you know, it's some sort of a game to them. And I want to camp out. I need time to focus and actually see what's up there on screen. Nobody's making that video, so I decided to make it. That's what this is. This deals with diagnostics, the entire install, all the problems that you're going to encounter, as well as a serious deep dive into the entire system itself. And we'll get into it. All right, let's go. Howdy, folks. How y'all doing? Hey, we got a interesting little stereo system we're going to get into here today. And just full disclosure here, I did get this product for review. I got it free of charge, but my words are my own. I only give the honest God's truth. And I'm just going to blow through the unboxing here because you know me, I freaking hate unboxing videos. You get a box, you get some stuff inside of a box, right? The only thing I want to pay mention to regarding the boxing situation here is this was double boxed. You got the first box, you got this box all nicely padded, and it was plastic wrapped. So, I mean, whoever did this, guys, good job, really. 2 thumbs up. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, once you get the stuff out of the box, you know, you get some instructions, and you get some connections, and you get some cameras. Well, a camera. Now, I had been looking at an Android stereo for my truck for years. I don't know, 3 years. Ever since the day I got the truck, and I can't remember when I bought the thing, but I've had it for about, I'm guessing 4 or 5 years now. Almost since the day I bought the truck, I've been looking at getting rid of that very plain Jane radio and putting some Android type thing into it. There are so many to choose from. How do you know which one to choose? I don't know, and I still don't know. But this one checked all of my boxes except for one. There was only one thing that I'm a little concerned about. It probably won't matter, but I guess we'll test and find out. You get only 2 gigs of RAM with this, and really I'd like to see 4 or 6, but Android is not Windows. Android is Linux, so it uses RAM a whole lot differently than Windows does. I'm sure 2 gigs will be fine, but I don't know. If you get a whole bunch of things going at once, we're going to test it and find out. But right off the bat, I can tell you this. This kind of cheap crap, and it is. There ain't no nice way of saying it. This is just cheap plastic crap. These little cheap screwdrivers, just save the 0.25 cents of a nickel. You know what I mean? just save the 2 pennies. Don't even include it. Just don't. This stuff goes right into a landfill. It's such cheap trash. Just don't do it, okay? This stuff, just don't include that crap. It's totally worthless. All right, once you get the thing out of the package here, there is a QR code. Hopefully that's coming out, right? To scan for a video of sorts, and I have previewed the video, and it's pretty bad. I don't know if it's me. It might be, and honestly, it could be me. The way it's AI converted into English, it's bad. It's so bad. Take the left side panel off. Take the right side. Just the way it's done, I don't know. I had a hard time following it. Thankfully, through my years of experience, all I need is a pinout. This is all I need. Just one of my very first businesses ever was car stereos. I used to build subwoofer boxes, designed automotive audio systems. I've been finite tuning forever, but The very first thing I ever did, business-wise, publicly, was audio system. So I know my way around a head unit. I know my way around some wiring. All I need is just the pinout, just the, show me the schematics. And actually, I prefer actual vehicle schematics, but a pinout is good enough. That's all I require. But the radio here, what I want to do here, got to set my camera up a little different, but I will get there. I want to bench test this thing. The very last thing you want to do is tear your vehicle apart, get everything, opened up internally to install something like this, only to power it up and realize it doesn't work or it doesn't connect or it doesn't do something. If you can, it's a good idea to always bench test this stuff first. That way everything is fully functional. All your password crap that you got to enter is already done. Your online stuff, you're indoors, so you're right next to your router. If you got to connect that way, just get it done indoors. Everything's already set up. Then all you got to do is install it. And, presto, it's kitchen magic. Everything just works because you already set it up. At least that's what I'm thinking in this case. I don't know. We're going to test it and find out. But let me rig up a power supply to this thing. We'll light it up and go through the menus. I will camp out on that for those of you that want to know. Everything's, we're going to be down there in the chapters and whatnot. If you want to skip through that, go ahead. But I want to see menus. When people power this stuff up, they're just too fast, way too fast. Stop, give me a moment, let my eyes focus on this screen. Let me see what's really there. Too many people just flying through stuff. I don't know if they're all gaming people or whatever. I can't function that fast. So I'm going to camp out on the menus here. We're going to take a good, long, hard look at the thing and see what it really is and what it isn't and what it can and what it cannot do. So let me rig up a power supply here quick and we'll get into that. We're going to time this from start to power off to boot and ready to operate. This is what the home screen looks like once booted, once ready to rock and roll. And there is no way to turn it off. Like pressing and holding that just takes that doesn't wake it up. But it doesn't shut it down. It just, shuts a screen off. I want to power it off and power it back on and see how long it takes to get to just this state. Now, I'm powering this with my battery charger here. So when I disconnect, you'll see it goes away, right? Let's see if, hopefully, I can get this all in one shot. Kind of, right? We will go and say, start. Hopefully I got that. And wait for it. I know, it's like watching paint dry. What do you think? We weren't going to beat 30. I was hoping we'll get her done in 30, but no, 36. 36 and change is what it, 30. Let's round it off on the high end. Let's call it, 37 seconds from 0 to this screen. That's how long it takes. Okay. Now we know it's not the fastest kid on the block, but, there's nothing, I don't really have a problem with that. If you're one of those people that turn the key, start the engine, and bam, right into gear you go, you are the problem with the world. I swear to you. Don't do that. Don't you ever do that. It takes time to build oil pressure in both an engine and a transmission. You people that do that, oh, you make my skin crawl. You literally do. I can't stand it. Slow down. Take 2 seconds to let the thing build oil pressure before you put a load on everything. Oh, it's horrible. All right, now, things I like, things I don't like. I love the fact that it has real buttons, real knobs, and dials. Now, this one over here, the Seek for your radio or skip ahead, whatever, that's just a momentary, that's a sprung dial. So it'll always go back to neutral. But this one we've confirmed can do mute, unmute, and if you press and hold, turns the screen off. There's another way of doing that. Up in here, this first little icon that says, me and icons, we're always going to fight. I'm an American. I read English words. I don't understand hieroglyphs. I wasn't born in Egypt. So I got to learn a lot of what this stuff is. It doesn't make sense to me. Like this one, that looks like crop. That is exactly a cropped icon in everything, all photo editing software, but that's not what it does. It takes a screenshot. I would never get screenshot out of that icon. That makes no sense to me. Whatever. It is what it is. There's another way you can turn the screen off by touching the me and touch things. We don't often get along, so it just is what it is. Touching it can wake it up unless you put it to sleep this way. Whoops. Then touching does not wake it up. So things to note. But the basic function here, I get it. You know, you get your basic radio and GPS, all your basic information, you know, right there on the home screen. That makes sense. And then you get your application, your programs and whatnot over ha. More of those over ha. And yeah, all in all, that works fine. I don't really have no problem with that. Aside from the couple things that I mentioned, but you know, it's all right. Now it's tested. I can confirm that at least in this regard, everything is fully functional. And now I feel safe, like tearing my truck apart. Now I can take a screwdriver and a wrench to my truck, start opening things up, because now at least I know this much about the unit. It does seem to fully function. So we have been plagued with some real serious cold weather here for the past 3 weeks, give or take. My God, we had a nasty snowstorm, and then we're negative single digits at night, barely hitting double digits during the day. So I'm dealing with some brutally cold weather right now. So this thing's going to have to sit until things warm up outside a bit. But yeah, I don't know. Everything looks good here. Oh, I got to sign in. Oh, crap. Google sucks. All right, that's enough of that, right? Real quick, I want to take a look at this backup camera. And, oh, this is bad. This is so frickin' bad. You seeing that, right? Here's the backside of her. That's usable information. Yeah, I wouldn't call it good. Here's what's so bad about it. Here is the actual camera. There we go. You can see all that. The leads are too short, which means both of this power and video connector are going to be externally mounted. That's a total crap connection. That is a bare naked connection. That will never survive. That won't make it a single winter. Not in Pennsylvania. It won't, and that's where I live. One winter will destroy both of these connections. They're not weather pack. That will be hanging somewhere under your truck. You can't have that. You cannot have that, folks. Yeah, sorry, I didn't have the power connector. Look, it's just bare naked. Yeah, I want to show it to you. It's just a bare naked, barrel connector. You cannot do that, folks. You can't. This one winter is all that it's got, and it won't even make it one. You get one snowstorm, just one event with that total garbage that they put on the roads anymore. That calcium something. Can't think of the name of it anymore. Anyway, the stuff that just rots a car into the ground in no time at all will destroy these connectors in a heartbeat. One little speck of that crap getting in there, forget about it. The entire connector will be gone. It'll be gone in a heartbeat. That stuff is so corrosive. You can't have anything but a weather-tight, weather-packed connector for wintertime environments. Nothing like this will ever survive. This is total garbage, guys. There's no nice way of saying it. I told you I'm going to tell you the truth, and these are the facts of the matter here. I don't know what the camera looks like. I don't care yet. I'm telling you right now, that ain't going to fly. No way in hell. That will be dead in less than one entire winter. Won't make it one winter, guaranteed. So I will test it, but before I mount anything permanently, that's got to get all hacked off. I got to put real freaking connectors on because there's no way. There is no way that'll survive. All right, and just keeping with the theme of crappy wiring here, I don't know. I'm just going to mention it. It's probably it's probably fine, but normally you would not want to see this kind of stuff. All of these RCA connectors, these coax plugs and whatnot, not a single one of them are shielded. That is just a 2-wire conductor, bare naked as naked can be, right into a plug. In today's modern vehicles where we all have coilover systems, coil packs and whatnot, we're not running spark plug wires like we used to. Back in the day, when everything had spark plug wires, it would be a whole lot more critical because those things are giant broadcast antennas, and stuff that's unshielded like this will pick it up. It will pick it up like a radio signal. And then you get this buzz, this hum that comes through your speakers. Oh, yeah, it was no fun back then, I'm here to tell you. But there were solutions to that. But one of the solutions is to not have wiring that is just bare naked like that. It must be shielded. Does it matter? Well, yeah, to me it does. But does it matter for performance in this case? I don't know. Probably not. And yet still technically, yes. You know what I mean? I'm not going to ding it for it, but I'm not happy to see it. I certainly would prefer to see fully shielded, protected connections, even if it was all grouped together in one, or at the very least, twisted pairs. 2 conductors that are spirally wound will have an inherent noise rejection just because of the winding. Just doing that is better than nothing, but there ain't nothing here, and I'm just pointing it out. It might bite you. It might come back to bite you. Some of these are inputs, but most of them are outputs. So it's not like there's any DSP that can be fixed. You can't do anything with it in the head unit itself. The noise will be coming straight from the line, and it's going to go to whatever source you plug it into, which in this case is going to be an amplifier, right? Your amp is going to have noise rejection in the signal path. Otherwise, you're going to get a hum or a buzz or some weird noise coming through the system, and you won't be able to find it, right? Well, unshielded connections, that's primary suspect or suspect number 1. Maybe it don't matter. Probably won't matter because I'm not using it in this case. But, for those of you that would, if you're running auxiliary amps and whatnot, you get a little buzz, a little hum, well, start looking here. Take some aluminum foil, literally aluminum foil, and wrap it all around this stuff. Noise rejection, like I said, I don't know that it's that critical in more modern vehicles, but my God, back when, and not that long ago, if you had spark plug wires, that's a receiver, plug wires are a transmitter, and you're just going to get buzz hum all day long. So just throwing it out there. Today, we're going to get into doing this radio swap. And first things first, got to get the old one out, right? To do that, there is a screw down in here that I got to remove, and these trim pieces got to be removed. This whole panel here, you kind of grab a hold of it on the bottom and start pulling it out like that. Yeah, that was good, great fun. I'm here to tell you. Probably would have helped if I put the keys in and moved the shift lever out of the way. That was really blocking me. There's a little, hopefully you can see it. I'm pointing right at it. There's a little tit back there that was really fighting me because of the shift levers in the way. Anyway, I did have to take out these 2 7 millimeter bolts up in here to give me a lot more flexibility in this, and then still had to fight with it. But anyway, that's how you get that out. Then you just pull these little spring clips. Just pull nice and straight and they'll come out. And do a rinse and repeat on the other side there. Took a screwdriver and popped this little cover off here. That cover goes right in like that. And then there's a bolt right there. These are all going to be 7mm heads on them. Just so as you knows. All right, I gotta get that one off and we'll get into it a little deeper. All right, next thing we got to do then is work with this glove box here. You push these little ears in to release them from their whatever their stops up in there, and glove box just opens up like that. And we're gonna have to pull this airbag plate off here, and to get to that we had to open up the glove box like this. And because I'm a little crammed for space here, let's see if we can get you a good shot with a mirror. Something like that. And yeah, you see those three 8mm bolts? They look like, yeah, they're going to be 8s. I got to pull those 3 out, and then we can pull that airbag cover off, and then pull this side cover off. That's the game plan anyway. Alrighty then, once you get those bolts out, then you can kind of get your hand up under there and start pushing until you see this begin to move. Once you see this begin to flex a little, you know you're pushing on the right spot. Push a little harder and it'll pop out. You don't got to take it all the way out, but we just got to get to that little 7mm right there. And I think that's good enough. All right, with both of these trim pieces removed, just kind of sitting there, we can remove the 7mm up here in the top, the 2 of those, and then the one down there in the bottom, and that should do it. Looks like it anyway. Just pull gently, carefully until the thing lets go. There we go. Spring clips, spring clips. Try to pull straight as you can. Some of them are gonna stick on you. It's just the way it is. Yeah, like those two. All right, turn you back in when I get that removed. No, I thought that was sticking a little too much. 2 more 7mm up there. Let me pull those out and then it'll pop off. Yes, okay. I didn't know that. I have this little rubber mat that was sitting there. Once I popped that off, then it was pretty clear what I was missing. Anyway, now this is free, and the way a new one's going to go in, it's going to be supported by these mounting tabs up in here, so that piece has to be removed. So there's a couple more 7mm yet that we got to pull out, and we're just about down to it now. So the faceplate's off there. We got to swap all of these heater controls and 4-way traction, all that jazz, and then just remove the radio there. That's looking like 4 more 7mm. Pop that out, and then we'll do the swap. Nothing to it, but do it. These aerials, they'll stick a little. Yeah, they'll stick a lot. They are pretty tough sometimes. And then squeeze tab here, and just gently pull on the connector. Never the wires, always the connectors. Should have mentioned that when I was taking these apart, but whatever, better late than never. And there you go. All right, let's swap some stuff over to the new panel and get this thing installed. So first things first, we'll take a Torx T15 bit here and remove the heater controls. And then pop out the 4-way hazard here. Squeeze these little tabs on the side. There we go. Like that. And to rinse and repeat with this. Went and got a smaller screwdriver for this. These tabs. There is a tab right there. And then another just like it. Right there. See that little square dot down on the bottom of this metal casing here? Take a screwdriver and push on that, which will release the actual connector here from this holder, and then once this is out, this will allow those tabs to push in a whole lot more easily, and then you can pop the whole thing out, and then naturally swap everything over to the new one. Be sure to take these spring clips off and swap all these spring clips over. You're going to need these for reassembly, and we're getting down to it now. And just to be fussy, I mean, if you want to be, these anti-squeak, anti-rattle pads, they're just stickers, really. Some kind of thick plastic with a little bit of glue on the back, and you work them until you get them loose, and then if you want to swap them over. Otherwise, you're going to get that horrible rattle. Eventually, it happens to the best of the best vehicles out there, and you'll never be able to find it. You know what I mean? I was having a hard time getting these heater controls back in because these are virgin fresh little nubs here. It's pretty hard to do it holding the component in place with the fascia and trying to get a screw started. So here's a little tech tip for you. Get it started first, that way you can kind of guide it, hold it straight with your fingers. You will have to apply some pressure on this to get it started, but then it will cut its own threads. Once you get it going, you don't got to run it home, just, get it started, get it halfway down, give or take, then it cuts some threads in there. Then you'll be able to start it once the whole thing goes back together. Now that I got some threads chased into there, into those little bosses, this should go a whole lot easier now, because they did not want to go prior to. You just got to get one started. Yeah, that bit already, that was easy. You should all do the same, hopefully. I'll get one in each corner, staggered. Slightly cinch it down. And then put the other two in. Okay, that worked pretty well. Now, make sure you keep everything a little bit loose, because there will be alignment, and you'll get down to the last screw and it probably won't go in. Yeah, like that. That is not a perfect alignment. There we go. There we go. Before I tighten everything, let's take a look. Everything looks good to me. Right? It's not tight yet, but looks like it's all fit in there pretty well. So now I will give her the beans. Just snug, ever so slightly snug. All right. That, if I can catch the light right, is that. Now, just got to put these things on. These are great fun to take off. You'll see. Yeah, that is sarcasm. Okay, here's how I'm doing it. These things got some wicked nasty teeth on them. Get them started by hand and then take the handle of a pretty decent sized screwdriver. This is a number 3 Phillips, to give you an idea, and tap it in until it's fully seated, and there you go. That's one way of doing it anyway, because they do go on hard. And once finished, should look a little something like that, I guess. Now, I've been thinking about this ever since I bench tested the thing. What am I going to do with the GPS? Well, right before I brought this thing in, I took a look under, or I should say on the inside of my dashboard, and I came up with a good idea. I do not want to stick this to my windshield. Let me rephrase this. I'm not going to stick this to my windshield. I don't want that kind of permanency. But I do have an easy way of getting this up to the windshield, and then I'm going to put in a dash pad, which I haven't even unboxed yet. That's another review for another time. But I'm going to put in a dash pad, a dash mat, whatever you want to call it, and then that will hold this thing in place. At least that's my game plan. Now, these, let me find them here. There are 2 USB connectors here. There is no home for them. I am not at all happy about that. I really wish they had done something on the display, you know, put them somewhere on the unit itself, because the only thing that's making any sense to me is I got to run them out of this hole down here somewhere, or I got to make my own hole. But I'm thinking that's the best place to run them, so that's probably what I'm going to do. All right, we're about done here. Let's go back to the truck and start connecting some wires here. All right, so now we're just going to run another bench test of sorts. Don't put everything back together until you know that everything is, working. But clearly there's some wiring mess here that we're going to zip tie and tidy up. You don't want this stuff rattling around in there. Every little bump that you hit, that's going to get annoying. But first we will set this, let's set this in its position here. All right, let's stick a key in and see what happens. On. Nothing. Nothing. Of course not. Why would it work? I mean, you got your truck, you took your truck apart. Of course it's not going to work. Now, this is not the point to freak out. This is the point to stop, think, and do a little diagnostics. When I bench tested this, I put power and ground to where power and ground goes, but it would not wake up until I put power to the accessory wire. And my truck might be doing the same thing. I'm sure the truck's doing the same thing, in fact. Maybe it'll change if I start the engine, which is ridiculous, but, check all the boxes. No, it still doesn't work. Okay, well, like I said, we bench tested the unit, so we know the unit works. Something's missing from my truck. I'm missing a power, I'm missing a ground. Something is clearly missing here, right? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Probably not. It's not a good shot. We follow these wires here. We have yellow, which is our main battery wire. We have black, which is our main ground. And then we have a red wire right there, kind of diagonal. Well, it's centered between the two, powers and grounds. You can see the red wire there. If we follow that, it goes to an open-ended connector. So that red wire is our accessory wire, and this is where it looks like it should go, but it doesn't go. That wire goes into, I imagine, powering up this box here, and that leaves us no accessory input. Seems a little weird to me, but we know that line needs power because that is literally what I used. I back probed right here with a T-pin. That's how I bench tested when I first, you saw that right in the beginning. So I know that line needs power, and clearly it's not getting it. The vehicle is supplying it. The radio's not receiving it. So what we're going to try here, I got to set you on a tripod. I'm going to use a paper clip just for quick and dirty, and we're going to jump the red to the red and see what happens. Bear with me 1 second here. We know that's accessory. I know this is accessory because I've tested it. And because I'm old and blind anymore, I need my glasses. Don't get old, folks. I'm here to tell you. Don't do it. All right. Now, that should be a good connection. And we need this red wire here. Oh, no, that wasn't a good connection. Yeah, goes like that sometimes. Is it in there? And is it in there? No. Oh, you heard that? I heard something. Oh! Okay, well, that's something. That is something. Well, let me... Go ahead, I'm going to have to make a... Alright. Whoa! Alright, I popped out. Alright, so clearly that's what's going on. We're missing that accessory wire. Alright, I took a bit of a stab in the dark here. I'm thinking, like, there's no way... This just didn't make any sense to me. And there is no instructions for this. I've read everything that they sent me a couple of times now, and it just doesn't exist. This box doesn't seem to be necessary, not for my vehicle. It goes to connectors that I simply don't have. Both of them here, I don't have any of that. The what should be power, and it's what it looks like to me anyway. Clearly, it's not getting any. I disconnected this and connected the open-ended auxiliary connector from, well, you can see what I did there. And that was enough to make everything work. It works fine. GPS works, everything, well, I mean, I have played around with the GPS a little bit. I don't know how to use the Google stuff. I've really never used it. There's no instructions for this stuff. There's much here that I need to learn because I do not understand. There are no instructions on really how to use the thing. It's got a nice looking manual that comes with it, but it doesn't tell me anything that I actually need to know. So, good luck, guys. I mean, I don't know. If you're new to the Android, whatever this is, Android radio car stuff, I mean, it's a hell of a learning curve. I'm certainly not understanding it. It's different it's way different than anything I've ever used. There's, like I said, no instructions, and I don't know. I guess I just gotta, live in a search engine to find out what is what here. All right, it is some time later, and I did get in contact with the manufacturer on this accessory connector here. This box they are calling a protocol box. I didn't know what to call it before, but I know what to call it now. Supposedly what it does is interfaces with steering wheel controls and those sorts of things, which I don't have none of that. So, that's why I got two open-ended connectors here that can't plug into anything because I just don't have that feature or function. So in a case like this, you're supposed to do exactly what I did. You're supposed to disconnect the accessory line here from these the protocol box, what they are calling it, and connect A's and B's like and like so. It sure would have been nice if there were instructions for that, because that don't tell you. I mean, I'm glad they give you a pinout. You need that pinout for, well, I needed the pinout for bench testing and whatnot, but like it doesn't say anything about doing this under these circumstances. And the little booklet that comes with that doesn't tell you nothing either. So now you know. No one's half the battle anyway. All right, now there ain't much more to it except tidying up the wires. I gotta zip tie everything, because the last thing you want to hear is that kind of crap with every little bump you hit. I gotta make a decision here. I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do in this regard. Somewhere. it's here somewhere. I gotta decide what I'm gonna do with this backup camera. First, I'm gonna try and power it up, and the wiring instructions on this are just about as clear as mud, so that's gonna take me a second of trial and error, I believe. Once I figure out how to make this actually work, I will properly instruct you on how to do it, because what they're telling me, like I said, it's not exactly clear. So let me figure that out, and I'll tune you back in. All right, after some more time investigating here, these are the instructions, and then there's video instructions which contradict. Oh, guys, this is just bad. I was already leaning in this direction. Now I've made up my mind. This is what I'm doing. No backup camera. Not going to do it. This little paper thin chintzy ass metal, yeah, it's painted, but it don't matter. This will not survive in my area with the crap that they spray on the roads around here. That calcium salt crap, you know what I'm talking. Well, some of you know what I'm talking about. This will never make it. The open-ended RCA connectors, of course, that will never fly. That won't last one season in my area. And then there's a hole on the back of the camera, so all that crap can get right in there. So again, no chance in hell this will ever survive, not in my area. So I'm not even going to waste my time with it. I can't power it up anyway, so screw it. That's where I'm at. No backup camera. Let's move along with bigger and better things, shall we? Where am I at? This little adapter here for the auxiliary input. I did have an adapter. I thought I had one. I was going to buy one, and then I looked in my box of tricks, and sure enough, I had one. Well, it's all for naught, because it goes into this open-ended connector, which I can't plug anything into. So it's 100% useless. I can't do anything with it. Connector, no connector, it doesn't matter. It goes to nothing. Oh, this was just not well thought out. I am not impressed. But I'm down to it now. It works. I'm going to get it finished up here installation-wise. Tune you back in once I show you the tidy wiring that I've done. And what I'm going to do here with, I can keep you out of the sun, the GPS receiver here. There's a couple of screws up here. You take this rubber mat out, take the two screws out, and then you can kind of do like that. What I'm going to do, I am not a fan of sticking sticky stuff to your dashboard, let alone a windshield. Yeah, you can remove it, but like if it's on a windshield, if you've stuck something there and it's been there for any length of time and then you go to remove it, you got to fight to get the glue off. And then once you do, every time the window fogs up, you see where this thing lived. And I hate that. That's just a pet peeve of mine, and I ain't doing it. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do, because it is just such a short run, I'll put the bolts back in that plate, and that will just kind of clamp down on the wires like, yo. And then, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to run it out the front here. But what I said in the beginning, I got a dash pad mat thing that I'm going to put in here. That will hold it in place. I'm just going to let it sit there nice and loose. You know, this plate here will clamp down on the wire so it can't go anywhere. And then the dash pad will hold it the rest of the way. So that's what I'm doing with it anyway. All right, let's tidy this up and get my truck back together, because I need my truck roadworthy again. Alrighty then, here's the final glamour shot here on the wiring. Everything's secured pretty well enough, I think. I hope. There's not anything solid to tie anything to, so you're just grouping wires with other wires, and all these open-ended connectors, the RCAs and whatnot. Make sure you tie them up good and tight. You know, give them a good tap. You don't want to hear them click, clack, click, clack. That's going to get quite annoying. Every little bump you hit, hearing that crap rattling around. But, you know, secure it to what? Tie it to what? Yeah, good luck. You can just tie it all to itself, basically. And I run the two USB inputs, you know, out through that. Oh, I don't know what you call it. It's a hole on the bottom of the plate there. That's where I ran them. Now, I just got to run the GPS, you know, up there, like I said. Pretty sure I gave myself more than enough room to do that. And then this thing goes in. All right, one other thing I can mention here while I still have this apart. When I was bench testing, like I showed you in the beginning, this didn't work initially. You know, don't freak out. We bench tested. That's why we know ahead of time that, you know, the thing lights up at least. One of my bench tests, and it wasn't the one that I showed you in the video, it was something I did later. One of my bench tests, I could not get this thing to power up again. It just would not do it. All I did was put it back in the box after the initial bench test, and I wanted to light it up again just to, you know, go over some software stuff and whatnot. But I could not get the thing to come to life. It just wouldn't do it. What I discovered, this main connector here, the black ground wire, that had popped out, and I didn't know it. I think it popped out the first time that I plugged it in. It probably happened during the initial bench test, but because I was back probing everything, I had enough force on it to make contact. When I did it the second time, naturally, you know, it was a day late, dollar short. I was doing things a little different, and I didn't have enough pressure on it. And yeah, it took me a minute to see it. I mean, it was just barely, but it was enough to make the thing not ground. And well, there's your problem. So, you know, if you run into a problem like I did, again, you know, calm, cool, collected, think it through, you know, test one thing, then the next, and chances are you'll find the problem. But yeah, make sure your connectors are firmly plugged in. And I mean, it just backed out, the wire itself backed out of that main plug, that main connector right there. So yeah, I don't know if I did it by accident or if it was maybe done like that at factory, but whatever, it was no big deal. I found it and fixed it, you know, just push it in a little further and you could literally feel it click into the detent, and then problem solved. All right, I'm going to put this thing back together now. Okay, so that is the install now finished. I put my GPS receiver just kind of sitting there. I got enough room. I don't know where I'm going to put it exactly. I might leave it there, put the mat on top, or I might tuck it down, you know, towards the front a little further, towards the vent. I don't know. I'll deal with that later. But now, if I can keep you out of the sun, now we'll officially do the peel. Good idea to leave that on while you're doing the install, just in case. Of course, we got a nasty glare because sunshine's always trying to kill me. One thing I want to, well, here, I'll just shut up and let you hear it. This is as low as it goes.
Keep him? That just feels like maybe they're in a situation where they've decided
it's either on or it's off. There ain't nothing in between that. Not a fan. That's actually a touch loud for my liking. Now with the engine running and the road noise and whatnot, I'm sure that's more than fine. But like now, I would want to be sitting here waiting on my wife to get done shopping or whatever, and I want to listen to the radio. That's a touch loud, you know. with that going on, you're certainly not going to be doing any sort of meditation. You're not going to get deep in thought because that thing's going to distract you. If you just want a little background noise, you want something a little quieter than that. And
let's say
that's, I'm talking a regular voice. And listen to that. I mean, that thing's as loud as I am, and it don't get any quieter. So, yeah, that's a thing, I guess. All right, now I am going to spend a little bit of time playing around, driving around, getting accustomed to it. I definitely want to get into the GPS on this, get my GPS installed, TomTom, and go like that. I did see in the manual, it was mentioned the GPS on this thing, the Google Maps or whatever. That's an online system only. To get that to work offline, you got to download the maps, which is what I do with TomTom anyway. So it's, 6 one half of the other there. Again, I don't use the Google thing. I use TomTom. So I'm going to get my system installed, and we'll give that a shot at some point down the road here. But I'm going to spend some time getting the feel for this, and we'll tune back in after that. Yeah, we have had some crazy weather here lately. First, we had a fake spring break. We got into high 60s, low 70s, and that didn't last very long. Then we got non-stop rain, so that flooded my parking area here. So I had to get above the floodwaters. Then, all of a sudden, we got, a freaking tornado ripped through here. And that's what those guys are cleaning up the road. That knocked down all kinds of trees, took everybody's power out for a day. Then it got stupid cold again. We were looking at 14 for the lows, 14 degrees Fahrenheit. That is damn cold. It's finally above freezing today. So I figure we'll get back to this car stereo here and deep dive into the menus and the settings and whatnot. Hopefully we can get through this without those wood shredder people making too much awful racket. Here's the situation here. I've spent a little bit of time playing around with this, and we're going to go through this with a proper mouse and keyboard, my preferred way of using a computer, and make no mistake, this thing is a computer. First, we're going to check the boot up time. That has changed. Key in. No need for a timer on this. The other day, that was so much faster. That was so much faster. I guess this thing, I don't know what it does, honestly. I have a lot of questions with no answers. Yeah, that was our regular boot up time. The other day, it was almost instant. I mean, 3 seconds, boom, it was up and running. So I don't know if it goes to sleep or if it goes into hibernation, if it has a built-in self-timer of sorts. It's got to be something along those lines. All right, let me put you on a tripod here and we'll go through it. All right, first thing we'll pay mention to here is the screen. This doesn't quite fit anymore. What happened here? Well, let's just talk about the screen. We got a hell of a glare situation. I have my rear window blocked off because even on a nasty overcast day like this, the glare is quite horrific. If you're out and about and you're getting, splashed with direct beam sunshine, yeah, you're going to have a problem with the screen. There's just no two ways about it. There's no anti-reflective coating on it, and you can clearly see my face as I'm leaning over, right? That's a thing to consider, for sure. Now, the screen is nice and bright. I got no problem with that, and it does dim itself automatically. Turn my headlights on here quick. See that? That's nice. I didn't have to mess around with anything. It just did that automatically. So, getting brownie points there. But this doesn't fit. And let me show you what's going on here with that. We're going to camp out and deep dive into these settings, features, and functions here. Settings. The network is, just regular network as you would expect, right? Nothing special there. apps and notifications. You got Z-Link here, in case you was wondering. It has Z-Link available if you want to connect to a tablet or a cell phone or a whatever. Me, I will never, because the idea, just the notion, just the sheer thought of using two devices to make one work, yeah, not in my lifetime. Not in this lifetime or the next will I ever put up with that. If this thing can't do what it needs to do all on its own, well, guess what? Then it's got to get replaced with something that can. I'm just, of that opinion, or that matter of fact, if you will. I'm not using two things to make one thing actually work. So I couldn't care less about that Z-Link thing. Storage, we get what they claim, or at least according to this, we do, right? 64 gigs internal. I got a USB dongle for my mouse and keyboard, and then I have a thumb drive plugged in there for music and whatnot. And we got location stuff. That's just, it's the same as Android, right? It's all Android stuff. Accounts here. Now, I had to create one specifically for this truck because, like I said, this is this thing will never update. It's already out of date out of the box. So it won't ever get more up to date than what it currently is. That's just the way these things go for whatever reason. So I created my truck has its own account now. That's what I had to do to get the stupid Play Store to actually work. Oh, Google is such a mess. Such a mess. Anyway, yeah, forget about the Play Store unless you have an account that you're willing to sacrifice for it, because it requires you to log in to do anything. Accessibility. Oh, this hardware float thing. I don't know. It might stand for hardware. It probably does. Anyway, there is this little round. Well, let me turn it on and see if I can show you what it is, what it does. Say okay. All right, are we having a malfunction here? I guess, I don't know. Let's go to music quick. Here, make sure the volume's all the way down. And I don't see it. There is this thing that pops up. Oh, well, of course, when I'm trying to show it, it doesn't do anything. Why so difficult? Well, for whatever reason, I don't know what kind of glitchy malfunction we're experiencing here, but I can't get this to do anything. Which is fine by me. I don't want the thing back. It created this stupid hovering, floating, controlled jog wheel shuttle thing. I don't know what it was. It was freaking annoying. It was always in the way. That's what it did anyway, until I turned that off. It was just a hovering window that popped up and stayed hovering over everything. All your music player, your radio, it was just obnoxious. So yeah, I got rid of that. Now, what I was talking about here, I'm getting elderly anyway, and damn sure hard of seeing. I had to blow this up to get it usable for me. And when you do that, you can't do anything with I can't read that. Can you read that? Honest to God, I can't read that. I need magnifying glasses. Well, I can blow it up, and about there I can start reading it. That's where I want it. But if you do that, oh, for heaven forbid, things start getting cut off. Here, let me go to the music player, for example. Music. Did it remember my volume setting? No, it won't remember my volume settings either. That's pissing me right off. I turned the volume off. Remember that. Why don't you remember that? It doesn't seem to do it for the radio, and it won't do it for this music player either. But it's cutting. This is probably a bad example. It cuts off text. You can't. Yeah, right here where my mouse is pointing. It's cutting that off. You see what I mean? I can't blow it up to my size. The thing won't scale properly, is what I'm getting at. So you got that to deal with. Like this radio thing. It it doesn't fit, right? It just doesn't fit. The thing won't auto-scale or self-correct when you blow things up like that. Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, it is for me, that's for sure. Anyway, let's go back to settings here. Keeping it minimized like that, or keeping it small, is about all I can get out of it. Yeah, see, like our 1 of 1, that fits now. You know, no scaling problem. This looks a whole lot better now. You can read what looks to be the whole title or whatnot. It's a problem. Well, maybe it isn't for you. Maybe you got better eyes than I do. It's a problem for me. It doesn't fit. I have the display here as large as I can get it. If I go any bigger, it makes the scaling even worse. Out of the box, it's set here. That's how it's set out right out of the box. And that's microscopic. It might as well be. I need a freaking microscope to see that crap. So I put it there at large, which is as big as I can go, and still have things more or less reasonably fit on screen. So, yeah, good luck, guys. I mean, wear glasses, I guess, is the only option here, because you can't go bigger. Things just get really messed up if you go any bigger than that. Anyway, magnification and color correction. I mean, I'm glad to see these features in here, but it's Android. You got it in your cell phone, you got it in your tablet. So it is all pretty much the same thing in that regard. I love the fact that I can use a mouse on it, even though some things don't seem to work very well with a mouse. Dwell timing. Dwell, normally you're talking about ignition timing when you're dealing with dwell. And there ain't nothing automotive about this. I don't know what that actually means. Interaction controls, dwell timing. So we're gonna counteract for a delay. I don't know what they're referring to in this regard. You get some features and functions there. Mono audio, captions, high contrast, which I do have enabled because it definitely makes for blind people like myself, it certainly made it easier to read. So that is what that is all about. And where were we then? That was accessibility. This is Google services. I don't know what this is. Find Hub. What is that? It ain't nothing that I care about, but whatever that is, if it matters to you, there you go. Car settings. Now, this is interesting. I like the features here, although I'm not sure that I understand them. I did find a manual one. I'm going to hit that here in just a second. Let's just go over this quick. You can choose your radio region, which is, good, great, fine, I guess, right? I'm in the Americas, so naturally US for me. You got mirror options, auxiliary options, and whatnot. Auto reverse selection was set to auto. I didn't change it. Why I couldn't get that backup camera to work, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. SWC type, that should be steering wheel control, right? SWC, steering wheel control, that's what I'm getting out of it. But that's a guess. That's an educated guess, but it's still just a guess. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, you get illumination detection on. Good, that was set on by default. I didn't change any of that. I haven't changed anything here, aside from the radio to my area, United States. Anyway, you're seeing what I'm seeing there. Reverse line. I wonder if that had something to do with... I don't know what reverse line is. There's no information that tells me anything. So, good luck, folks. Autoplay stuff. Yeah, you're seeing what I'm seeing there. Anyway, that's nice. Check out the display here real quick. Screensavers, I don't ever want. But, illumination color. Yeah, I don't know. Stuff to play around with. I don't care about none of that personally. But you got features and functions there. Sound, we have lots of adjustments there. That's cool. I'm glad to see that, right? Factory. Good luck. I don't know what the hell that means. Factory what? I don't know. Device. Does device no longer function? Is it broken? Oh, there we go. See, like I said, some things just don't work. I could see the click. You heard the click. I'm commanding it with a mouse. It just nothing's happening. We'll see if we can get it to happen here, but I have had this give me a low RAM error, or warning, I should say, not an error. I was afraid of that, and yeah, I actually ran into the situation. Anyway, nothing to scroll there. That just is what it is. System platform, I don't know where that is. Well, maybe one of you guys know. I don't know. I'm not a master user. I'm not an Android master by any stretch. Can you tell? And we'll just click on system here. Check that out real quick now. Launched. Get your basic input, output, language options right there. Guess we'll just click on that once, see what we got. Nothing. Oh, now it works. Okay. Autofill service. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't use it. So if you do, I guess clicking on things, just half the time things aren't working. Local update, and we'll just try it just because we ought to, just to make sure. No, nothing there to update. Can update. Already latest version. And, you know, that's, like I said, that's what you're going to get here. It won't update. I did check the manufacturer's website, and the only manual that they have, or I should say the newest manual that they have available, is for Android 10, I believe. And the latest firmware update was for 2024. So we're already in 26. Like I said, it is what it's ever going to be. It already is everything that it will ever be right out of the box. That's just the way these things seem to be for whatever reason. Wireless update. I think we've tried this before, didn't we? I can't remember. And yeah, tell it to check one more time just to be thorough. No, your software is up to date. It already is everything that it will ever be. All right. So, backing up here, that was everything in the settings. All right. Let's clear everything. And go over some of these applications here, I guess. Radio, we know what that does, right? It won't remember my volume. What part of off is so complicated that it just refuses to remember? Don't. Oh, that's going to piss me off. It just won't remember. My God, that's obnoxious. Grr. Music. Again, it won't remember. What part of off? What part of mute? What part? Please spell it out for me, because I don't understand what you don't understand here. Stupid thing, it just doesn't remember. All right, that's a problem. That is a real problem for me. Oh, let's check video here real quick. This has a something preloaded. Little tune to it. I did bench test. I saw this when I bench tested. I didn't show it to you on camera, but you know, it's got a nice looking screen. I think it looks, well, I think that looks good. I got no problem with that. I don't know what resolution the video is, but that looks pretty good to me. So that's video. Bluetooth. I don't want it paired with anything, although I will at some point try this. A OBD2 diagnostic dongle that you plug into your vehicle. And the idea here is to be able to monitor systems, check codes, clear codes, that sort of a thing. Being able to do that with a built-in unit like this would be a godsend. That would be so cool. I am going to test that at a later date here Just want to go over the basic menu features and functions at this point in time. But that's what Bluetooth looks like. And settings we checked already. File manager, looks like that. Play Store. I am just annoyed that I had to create an account to use that. But one thing that I could show you here real quick that annoys the crap out of me. Why this world is so bad. So bad. All right, so I can't install my TomTom onto this. Only that expert thing, which they changed everything. TomTom screwed everything up, which is the way of the world anymore. You update, you try to reinvent the wheel, you make nothing but a square, nothing ever works again, right? That's just the world anymore. All right. Now I can't swipe. What in the world is going on? All right, YouTube. I don't care about YouTube. Car info. That's what car settings. We already touched on that. Let's go over car info here. And car settings. Now, you know what? This thing isn't remembering anything. I already set this. I had this set previously to Imperial because, well, United States. All right, EQ here. Now, this is, I don't understand what's going on here. This unit is not remembering at all. When I first hooked up everything, played my first tune, a little bit of radio, I thought it really sounded bad, and it did sound really, really bad. This is where these bass and treble sliders were located originally. This thing is not remembering for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on here. It is forgetting. Anyway, what it sounded like, honestly, was, treble all the way down. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like absolute total mud right out of the box. These, I couldn't get to do anything at all. They just didn't do nothing. So, I don't know what to tell you there. You can do a little fading front to rear, but that's all you can do here. You do have more finite controls in a different location, which I'll get into here in just a second. And sync. Yeah, I couldn't tell you on that. I don't know what sync is, but again, we're running into this scaling problem where, half your information doesn't fit the screen. So these are things to consider, folks. All right, that's the basic auto settings there, I believe. Image scan, I don't remember what that is. There's some music files that I have on my thumb drive. Okay. Yeah, that's what all that is. AVN is just, that, as you would expect, right? DSP. Here's where I got a problem. This is not, it's great that it has a almost infinitely adjustable equalizer built in. But here's where the problem is. To do actual DSP, digital signal processing, to tune your system properly, you require a parametric equalizer, and this is not. This is just throwing some sliders around, and you just get rudimentary control over your frequency doing it this way. But this is what I had to do to get back to what my old radio sounded like. Like I said, it just sounds like total mud. There is no high ends to it, nothing whatsoever. From 1,000 hertz on up, you just got to push and keep on pushing. It does not sound good until you really crank up the top end on this. Now, these are old crappy speakers. They're factory speakers. They never sounded good, but to get them back to what they used to be with the old radio installed, this is what I had to do to get there. Now, surround sound is Honestly, it's pointless. All it does is create an echo chamber. It just adds a ton of reverb. There's nothing surround about it. It makes you sound like you're in a cave. That's all. Whoop-de-doo. Subwoofer. Yeah, that's all you got. Again, very, very limited control. You have no control over your crossover points or anything like that. So, you don't get any control like that in the main unit here. That is disappointing. I don't have a subwoofer installed, but, if I did, I would be highly disappointed in what I'm seeing here. ASP, analog signal processing. All these presets are total trash. They're 100% useless. They shouldn't even exist. These should be numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4. You should only have your own custom settings and then a 1, 2, 3, or 4 to save your own custom settings, because this is all trash. Just here to tell you. I cranked these all the way to 11. Well, they only go to 7, but I maxed them out as far as they're able to go. These really didn't make any difference at all. Nothing. They didn't do anything. So I don't know what the analog signal processing is processing. As far as I can tell, it's not doing anything. I couldn't get anything audible out of that until I used the digital signal processing. This is the only thing that made any difference audibly. So I don't know what to tell you there. It doesn't work, or it didn't work for anything that I was listening to anyway. But balance, this is where you have that granular control, where you can just move it any which way you want. Being a regular cab pickup truck here, I don't want it nothing but centered. For me, that's my personal preference on this. But, it's something, and it's a whole lot better than nothing. But this certainly is not great. I really was hoping for more than this. Really, all I require is a parametric equalizer. And give me 30 bands of parametric EQ, and then I'm a happy camper. I can tune dead flat with that. But this, yeah, good luck, guys. Good luck. All right, DSP, that was this page. Let's go check out the instructions. Glad to see that it has instructions available, but these are real lackluster, folks. And again, the teeny tiny print. I honestly need magnifying glasses to read this, but there is some stuff in there. Not much. SWC again. Why? Like, here is where you should literally tell me, so that I don't have to guess. SWC learning. Is it steering wheel control? It's the only thing that makes sense to me. It must. Talking about a pull-up resistor. That's got to be steering wheel control. It's the only thing I can make from it, or make sense of it. But in the instructions, in the actual manual, why don't you spell it out? Why don't you tell me what it is? Because you know what I mean. This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, folks. It's just not good. All right, and themes, wallpaper, that kind of, petty stuff. I don't care about that, but I will get rid of this flashy stuff at some point and just put a solid picture in. I just want a solid color. I don't want gradients of any kind. I don't need dancing backgrounds. I hate that stuff personally. All my desktop computers, I just have a gray background, just simple, solid colors. I will add that at some point. And APK Pure. This is what this unit, I think, is designed to be used for or with, more so than the Google store. Is it going to do anything? When I opened this, I don't know, last week when I was messing around with this, what's this? Skip? Oh, it's probably trying to show me an ad. Yeah, it was just pop-up on top of pop-up on top of freaking advertisement. Crap. Yeah, like that. There you go. This is what I'm talking about. This is crap. This trash shouldn't exist. But I think this is what this particular version of Android is meant to be used with. Like this, or F-Droid, or one of these third-party Play Store alternatives, I believe is what what they had planned for this. And again, this is so teeny tiny. I can see the pictures, but I can't see the text. I can't make that out. Whatever this, yeah, Netflix, I can see that. Anyway, when I first updated this or installed this, look at this floating crap. Look at this crap. Who designs this trash and then thinks it's a good idea? Whatever. When I first opened this thing up, it did update, is what I was trying to tell you. So whatever this thing is, whatever app store that it is, at least it is up to date. I want to get the hell out of here. Come on, back up. Tap to exit. Yes, get out. For crying out loud. Anyway, that was that. This, yeah. This is a weird one. I don't know why would they install something that isn't meant for this device? First of all, I don't understand. I didn't install this. This came pre-installed. If you go and check for updates, and I have done that. You can update it through the Google Store. Let's do that, I guess. Nope, that doesn't work. It's just a rinse and repeat of what the hell. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you have to uninstall it to get that to work. Maybe. Oh, folks, I'm telling you. I couldn't make this stuff up, but if I tried. Anyway, the GPS does seem to function quite well. And once I created a Google account, then Google Maps actually did work. So that's my fallback since TomTom, well, I can't install my TomTom onto this thing. Yeah, it's good for satellites here. I got a good lock on it. I think you need a minimum of 3 to get any kind of GPS functionality, and here we've got 9 of them currently connected. So yeah, that's plenty good for GPS. Happy to see that. That doesn't do anything. There we go. And the fan here, I don't know what kind of fan that they're using here. Some little laptop fan, from what it looked like to me when I was just checking out the unit, touchy feel by hand. Anyway, the quality of the fan is what I am a little concerned with. If it runs all the time, it's going to wear out faster, right? The unit will probably overheat in a vehicle without a fan, and we're just barely above freezing right now, so it's nice and cool inside of my truck. No fan is required, but if you ran it all the time, it's going to wear out faster. I don't know if that's a good idea. Leaving it, temperature dependent, I think is a good idea. However, the option that you get to choose from here, these are kind of hot. I'd like to see it maintain a 50, 55C temperature. That would be my preference anyway. 70 is getting up there a little bit, and then, well, you can't go any colder than 70. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's all right. It's probably all right, but like I said, I would prefer to maintain this temperature right here. In the 50s would be awesome if I could just maintain that. But those are your options for the fan support. There's your support. At least you get real email address that I can copy and paste. I can't. These things they barely work for me once in a while, but normally got to get them. I got to take a scan of them 3 freaking times, open the link 3 freaking times to finally get to anything. And half the time the pages just go to a dead end. They don't work. At least you get a real freaking email address. That's all I need, folks. Just give me your email address, and then I'll take it from there. Please and thank you. And then Z-Link, we've covered that, I think, already, right? You connect your phone or your tablet. You can do it wired or wirelessly, but that takes an app. You know, you got to have the Z-Link app in your phone or tablet to make this work. Hello. Can't get back. All right. And then this APK Pure. There's two of them here, and I don't understand. Why? How is there two of them here? What is this crap? Am I supposed to be gambling or some crap? What is this? What in the frickin' world is this? Been selected by a cache. This is the trash that's installed. What in the world is this? Good luck. Yeah, good freaking luck is right. What is this crap? Oh my God, folks. I'm sure that wasn't there the last time, and I didn't install nothing. Get me the hell out of here, please. Let's get to something that makes sense. Close it all. All this trash. All right, so I can't, I can't be anything more than real, and I'm really not impressed with all of this. This is not a great experience. The volume. That pisses me right off. Stop freaking doing that. How many times do I got to turn it to 0? And it just, the fact that I have to keep turning it down every time I bring up a music player, my God, that's irritating. Yeah, I can laugh about it because it's stupid, but my God, it's so freaking annoying. And no, there's no quick way of doing it. All right. That would be, I believe, in the settings here. Car settings. Sound. Media volume's at 0. Default volume is at 11. I'll turn default volume to 0, and hopefully that does it. I mean, it damn well better do it. Let's see and cross our fingers here. Let's try radio. Let's just go to the radio quick. Hey, halla friggin' Luya. All right, that's how you get the volume. But why do you got to do that? Why can't you just set it and have it remember? Like any other radio on the face of this planet works, that's how they all work. Aside from this, man, that is so freaking annoying. But anyway, that's how you get your volume to actually function at a lower state, I should say, or a high state. You do you, but yeah, that's annoying for sure. All right, let's check out our Google Maps here real quick now, won't? Now, like I said, this didn't work at all until, can I zoom? Yeah, this is what your 2 gigs of RAM is getting you. It's just god-awful slow. I think I recorded a clip where it gave me that low RAM error, but I'll see if I can find that somewhere. Anyway, now that we're loaded, yeah, it does kind of respond a little better. Anyway, this 2 gigs of RAM, it is just slow. All right, we can pinch and zoom or expand. Zoom in, zoom out like that, right? Google Maps didn't work for me until after I created an account and then signed in. You got to sell your soul to do anything with these stupid Android toys. And Apple, Mac, whatever, it's all the same crap. Same problem, exactly the same problem. What I want doesn't exist as per usual. Give me a real Windows computer or a real Linux computer and, mouse and a keyboard combo, and just that's what I want. But that doesn't exist. So this is the next best thing. And, this is my very first experience with an Android radio unit like this, so can't get any more real than this. I mean, I'm showing you the real out-of-box user experience, and it has not been great for me. Okay, I have just installed one of my favorite diagnostic applications here for OBD2, that little dongle thing I showed you earlier. Let's try and see what we see now. Vonst. Yes. And yes, I agree. Man, it's small. Hey, we have options to blow it up. I like that. I don't know. How big? Hey, I can read that. That scales. Nice. Yes, always light. I can't stand this dark mode crap. I can't connect to Google Play. Who freaking cares? I don't care. Don't connect to the stupid internet. Connect to my damn dongle. Yes, my God. This is the 2 gigs of RAM, I swear. It moves at the speed of smell. Come on. What is this crap? Sometimes my finger works, sometimes the mouse pointer works. Yeah, I gotta wonder if maybe it just can't handle dual input. I don't care. Go, go, go. Nothing happens, doesn't work. Maybe I'll just turn the mouse off. How about that? I'm trying to see if the Bluetooth dongle is actually connected to this thing. And yeah, here's that scaling problem, creeping up again. You can't see anything, and there is no up down scrolling. You can't see it. It just doesn't work. The unit refuses to scale, can't scale, cannot get it done with this technology. Search. Yeah, I know it's disconnected. How do you make it connect? Okay. I wasn't doing it wrong. This is what that icon bar or that toolbar is supposed to look like. And yeah, these buttons are supposed to do something. They haven't. Not for me, they haven't. We'll go back to the Bluetooth thing. Let's try it with the mouse. I got OBD2 connected here. You can see I clicked the link thing to connect. It's not doing anything. Do I press and hold it? Do I just sit here and wait for Christmas? I mean, what? Just nothing happens. All right, real quick, I ran and got my tablet here just to show you that, a tablet has no problem connecting to this dongle down here. And let's check this boot up time. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's, 2 seconds maybe? Now, I was inside for maybe a half hour, letting things charge up real quick. Came back out here and just checked my tablet to make sure everything connected just fine. And then the screen, it lit up real quick like that. I don't know when it goes to sleep. Does it go to sleep, go into hibernation? What does it do? I don't know. But clearly, if you leave it sit long enough, it's like all power is removed from the device. So the boot up time will be your 45 seconds or whatever. If you're using the thing relatively, often, boot up time is real quick like you just saw it. What I want to show you here is the application. Bluetooth is on, and I will go open the same scanner app, click connect, and blammo. Same dongle. I don't know what to tell you, folks. Connected. We're up and running. So, what's the problem with this? I do not understand. Let me disconnect. We'll try it one more time. All right. Close that. I'll just be super thorough here, and I will turn Bluetooth off. Okay, Bluetooth off on my tablet. Go back to the, where were we? Bluetooth. Somewhere in here. There. Scan for devices. Yeah, the sun's coming up. I'm glad to see that. What has taken all this time? There it is. The OBD2 thing, I selected it, and I will click connect, and just nothing. I don't know. Let's try the application on it, see if that makes any difference. Open up car scanner here. Maybe. Try connect. Holy crap, guys. We finally got it. Oh, man. What a freaking nightmare that was. Don't ask me why it wouldn't connect. Just don't even ask. I couldn't tell you. I just did it and redid it and redid it and did it again until it finally just worked. Now, well, I don't know. Let's see. Separate. Battery voltage is pretty damn low. Let's start the engine. Yeah, we got charging voltage. Well, it's coming up anyway. Ain't quite charging voltage yet. We should be 14.5 for charging voltage. But, all right. Yeah, that's a bunch of crap. I did pay for it, so I gotta clearly get it to work with my account somehow. But at least it connects, and now we know. Man, I don't know what the problem was, guys. I don't know. But you saw what I saw. All right, I finally got it to just show me the OBD2 code, just generic codes, which is what I wanted to show you anyway. There was a reason I was doing this, because when I installed this, when I was testing everything, I didn't have everything fully connected, and I did have the ignition key turned to the on position, not the start, just the on position. And that is going to set a bunch of codes, because the body control module won't be able to make communication with the heater controls and everything that I had unplugged. And as you can see, we have codes that are inactive, because as soon as I plug everything back in, they become deactivated. But it did set some codes there. So that's really what I was trying to show you in this regard. Finally got it done. Anyway, I'll clear those codes, and then I want to show you some of the manufacturer's website real quick. Real quick, I just wanted to show you here the email correspondence that I had with the company. I did ask them about this accessory line, and I did try to show this to you a little bit in video, and I don't think it came out very well. So I thought maybe pictorially I can do a better job here. The red line here, this is the accessory line that, well, it simply isn't connected to anything. This is just a flying lead, an open-ended terminal here. What they have it connected to out of the box from factory is what they're calling this box here, a protocol box. And what this does apparently is it controls steering wheel functions and those sorts of things. Now, as I've shown, it also goes to other things, open-ended connectors down here that I can't utilize, but whatever. He explained it as functions for CAN bus and steering wheel control and that sort of thing. But yeah, you got to do exactly what I did, and it was the only thing that made any sense to me. But I wanted to double check with the manufacturer of the company, make sure that everything was correct. And yes, this is what you're supposed to do: disconnect this and connect this line together. These two lines together is what it has to be. Now the website here, I just want to mention real quick. You go here, you're looking for user manuals, and the newest thing that they have available is for Android 10. This unit already has Android 14, so we are well and truly out of date on that. The firmware and whatnot, there is nothing available for this, but their latest update for anything on their website anyway was from 12 to 13 for some sort of a CarPlay AI box. I don't know what that is. I don't think this unit has it. But in terms of updates here, quite few and far between is what it looks like to me. Now this unit here is what I've got, and I'm kind of a little bit on the fence with this because $329, yeah, that's kind of pricey for what you get. I like the faceplate. I like this whole idea, the way they've designed it. Overall, I think it's pretty cool. But what it does in features and function wise, and how much I'm fighting with it, features and function wise, guys, I don't know, man. I'm having a hard time with this. That ain't sitting so well with me. But they do have other options here. Check them out at your leisure. It's just go to the bins.com website. I'll put a link to everything, down there in the description as always. But, here's your Ford selection, and there is quite a selection here. So, if you have, I don't know, an Explorer or an Expedition or whatever Ford has right now, I don't know what their current offerings are, but you have a bunch of different options here to check out at your leisure. Hey, I'll tell you what, all in all, I like this setup. I think what they did here was a good way of doing what they did. Redesign the entire fascia trim bezel piece here. And then you can custom fit any radio of any design that your heart desires, right? You get a much larger screen than ever would have been available. I like the way they did that. And I love the freaking buttons. Thank you. I am a tactile feedback kind of guy, and yeah, I need me some buttons. However, it was, a good first try, but some things just were not thought out at all. This, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? Now, I'm pretty creative. I'm quite handy. I would make an aluminum plate for that, cut to specifically fit these, connectors and whatnot. But that should have been thought out, long ahead of time before they even manufactured the thing. Those should be up here somewhere on the unit, on the faceplate somewhere. That shouldn't be. That should not be like that. Same with the auxiliary input. I got none. You saw that, right? There ain't nothing I can do about that. Again, just was not thought out. I should not require those extra connectors to get me a proper auxiliary input. It has microphone. I think the microphone's built right into it right there. It says mic. I'm never going to make calls with it. I'm never going to talk to the thing, so I couldn't care less about any of that crap. But an auxiliary input, hell yeah, I need that. I want that. I can't tune the system really without it. I got to get creative in that regard. But I'll say it's a good first try, but it is certainly not what I require. Not for me. It should be a radio first, an audio system first, and everything else second. And this was more like Android first, and everything else, automotive-wise, was just an afterthought. to me is it just seems like it was designed backwards. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. So, wow, that was a long one. That was involved. That took a minute. Hopefully, at this point, you know exactly what this thing is and what it is not, what it can and cannot do. I just want to reiterate, go over, rehash a couple of things here on the back end, and we'll wrap this one up. Well, let's just start with this backup camera here. So bad. So bad. I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, this kit was specifically designed for my truck. So it's not like they didn't know what vehicle it was going into, right? Having any sort of connection external and then just leaving it, just this open, bare naked crap, they knew this was going to be hanging under a truck. Like, why? It's like they didn't even try for making it weather tight or survive any kind of real world conditions, because this won't. There's zero chance of survival here. So it's bad, guys. It just is. They show you like, well, here, let's go over the video quick. They do tell you how to hook this thing up, how to wire it. Let's get into that here real quick.
Now connect the rear view camera. Connect the yellow plug of the camera to the yellow plug of the connecting wire.
All right, just real quick here. Stop with the frickin' background music. It's obnoxious. There's no need for that. You're trying to give clear, concise instructions, and then you're muddling it with noise, literal noise. Everybody keeps doing this, and everybody needs to stop. Please, stop.
And connect the other end of the connecting wire to the yellow connector of the 10P plug. Connect the red wire of the camera to the black connector and connect these two wires together at the same time.
This is one way of wiring it.
The camera to the black
Right?
connector. And
That's what you're telling me.
Connect these two wires together to the positive terminal of the reverse light.
Now that's supposed to make it work.
Carefully examine this wiring diagram.
And then you show me this. This is something different. This is not what you just showed me to do. You're talking about a pink wire in one place, a brown wire in another. Like I said, this is just about as clear as freaking mud. So you just showed me two different ways of doing the same thing. Because what you're showing me here in this little Etch-a-Sketch diagram, the way you've got it laid out, is not what you just told me to do in the video. So that's two different ways of doing it. Now, look at the, let's look at the papers here that comes with. I'll throw these things up on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. The back of the host device, I mean, we got a pinout, right? That's great. That's what we require, but we would also be really nice to have an accompanying vehicle schematic that goes along with this so that we can see wire colors. Is it green wire with yellow tracer? Show me something. Show me actual schematics, please. And especially on this video camera. Show me what wire does what, because this is bad. Is it power? Is it ground? One of these, I think it's this little one here, shows a trigger wire on one of the connections here. A trigger wire. What is the trigger wire? Is it battery voltage? Is it a ground? Is it pulse width modulated? What is it? Tell me what it is, first of all, so that I can understand how it's supposed to actually work, so that I can maybe stand a chance of making the thing work, because you're showing me like 4 different ways of hooking this up and ain't none of them work. I tried them all, and for whatever reason, this thing would not wake up for me. So, oh, guys, good try, I guess, but it was not in the cards for me. The manual here, you're showing me something different again versus what's shown up on screen. It's just, you tell me to connect to a pink wire, and then you show me to connect to a brown wire. It's like, go forward. No, wait, back up. No, wait, turn left. Go forward one more. No, hang on, wait a minute. Back up, turn. No, just make up your mind what direction am I headed here. You know what I mean? Make up your freaking mind, because I don't know what you don't know. And without proper instructions here, what am I supposed to do? I don't take guesses. I don't guess. I know what I'm doing, or I don't do it. That's, that's me. They only put so much smoke into these little boxes. Once you let that smoke out, you know what I mean? That's the end of the story. You don't go putting power to something unless you know exactly what it is and what it does. So, this was very poorly thought out. All right, so that's the backup camera situation here. This little dongle, am I holding it right? Yeah. This little dongle here. Yeah, I could have made that a little faster for you guys, but honest to God, I wanted you to feel some of my pain. That was maybe 2 minutes worth of time in the video, but that was more like 45 minutes of my frickin' life. What happened? Why could you not see this thing on the main device, on the main head unit? It would not show. I mean, it was there. It was seen as an available thing to connect to, but it would never connect. It never showed that it was connected. I mean, you tap that connect icon all day long, and it just ain't gonna do nothing. In my tablet here, this is a Samsung S7, 7S, I don't know, about a 3-year-old Samsung tablet. I see it. When I go into my Bluetooth connections, I see this device right, available, and then I see that it's physically connected. It does connect on my tablet. I was trying to just get your head unit to do that, and Binize, however you pronounce the name, just wouldn't do it, couldn't do it. I don't know what happened or why it wouldn't show that it was connected, but the program that I was using, that diagnostic program that I showed you, can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it did work. I mean, it worked in both units. You worked on my tablet as I showed, and after I did that, seemed like it finally worked on your head unit. I don't know if it had to learn how to do the thing. I mean, I don't know what the problem was there. So, just something. That's the only Bluetooth device that I tried to actually connect, and that was such a nightmare. I didn't care about anything else. I don't need to connect anything else. I just wanted it for that. So, yeah, guys, this was a thing. This was quite an experience. Me having none with an Android radio unit, that's why I did it like this. I wanted you guys to see what it's really like for a newbie. I didn't have any experience with this stuff until now. Tablets and cell phones, that's the only Android stuff that I've ever used. And, I'm not really a fan of Android. I want a different thing. I want a real damn computer. And these are like half-assed versions of. But it's the best thing that we have available currently. So, it is what it is. This unit checked all my boxes, though. It had GPS, which I wanted, which does seem to work quite well. And it had the backup camera, which didn't work at all. But it was those two things that I was really after. And, when I saw this unit, the only thing I was concerned with in the beginning was the 2 gigabytes of RAM. And as my fear was warranted on that. This tablet, for example, has 6 gigs. The Samsung S7, TS7, whatever the hell it is. That's got 6 gigs, and I only have, on average, 2 gigs available for running programs and whatnot. It eats like 4 gigabytes just to sit there and idle, just to do nothing, just screen off, everything off. It's eating like 4 gigabytes of RAM. So if my tablet does that, what's this head unit going to do? And after I got a couple of things open, and it happened to me while I was using the Chrome browser, that's when it happened. I did record it, but the clip was unusable. It was all overexposed. I was using an action camera at that point, and that just was not working for me at all. Way overexposed with the glare and whatnot on the screen. You couldn't see anything regardless, so I didn't bother including that. But that's when I got that low RAM error. And yeah, I mean, that's what I was afraid of. You know, you get a couple of things going at the same time and it don't have enough RAM to do what it needs to do. Like I said, this thing eats 4 gigabytes of RAM just sitting there idle. So now I understand these Android radio systems are extremely modified versions of Android. I don't know what you guys did. I don't know who did what or how they did it. But full-fledged Android eats 4 gigs. I don't know what you guys are using. I didn't see a way of actually looking at that while I was using the unit. I would probably need a different piece of software or whatnot, which I don't care. I don't care. I just want the thing to work. You know what I mean? This kind of does. It kind of works. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Now, I'm glad I played around with it. I'm glad I got some experience with it. But after experiencing it, it's not what I want. Hopefully, it works better for you than it did for me. But in my application for what I actually want to do with it, it seems ill-equipped. It's buggy. Things that should work don't. The mouse would sometimes work, sometimes not. You saw me clicking on stuff. You could see the action happen on screen, but nothing's happening in the background. What the commands aren't getting through to the processor or something. I don't know. Just weird, buggy stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's a good foundation. I think it's a good starting point. You found the North Star and you're looking in the right direction. That's what I think it is. You got a long way to go to get there, but you keep going in that direction and eventually you'll get there. That's my opinion on the whole system, if you will. I don't think there's anything more I need to say about it. It is what it is, right? You know me, stars are for restaurants, and we don't do stars. Here in the real world where we really live, we use a proper numerical scale. On a 0 to 10, where would I rate this thing? For me, that's just my personal opinion, but for me, this will be a 3 out of 10. It's a great idea, and I really like that whole faceplate idea. I think that is the way to go for a setup like this. But in doing that, you have so many more options that you did not utilize. Like, all these connectors, all these USB connectors, the aux connectors, and all that stuff should be right there on the faceplate. We don't need these wires dangling. That's just creating a problem that shouldn't exist. So, yeah, you have options there that, just clean that up for the next iteration, please. It's all right. I mean, it's not what I want, but it's better than what I had, that's for sure. First and foremost, it's got to be an audio system. So, focus on that. Everything else is second. Everything else needs to be secondary to that. First and foremost, it's got to be a radio. Then it's got to be a media player, okay? It's got to do the whole audio thing first, because we are, after all, just replacing a radio. So it's got to be an adequate replacement for a radio. And this really ain't. You gave me more FM options, but you stripped me of my AM options. What would it cost for the AM receiver? I mean, I think in school we made those things with nothing but a potato, some baling wire, and a nail. You know what I mean? two cents of components to get you the AM receiver. Don't strip that out. You know, give me more than what I expect, not less. I don't know why you got rid of the AM feature, but yeah, I traded. Well, I guess I downtraded. I downgraded in that regard. I gained more FM programmable options, but you know, it's still just the same FM radio that I came from. But then you stripped me of my AM options. You know, that's not what I would have done. So, you know, that's not good. And then, you know, DSP. Seriously, give me a full-fledged system there. I need it. I require it. Can't tune a system without it. EQ sliders are great fun to throw around, but that's not how we really tune a system. We need parametric equalization. We need crossover function. We need gain control for a subwoofer amp. You know, we need some real basic functions here that are missing. Guys, we're just missing what we need. So audio system first and foremost. Everything else second. Focus, please. Hopefully my camera is. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at. I think it's a good first try. I like what you're doing. I just feel like it's very wholly incomplete. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. All right, Bins, thanks for the sample. Now I know, now you know, and hey, thanks for hanging out, guys. Do this thing if you liked it. Do that thing if you didn't. Like, subscribe, all the bells, whistles, all that jazz. You know all about that, right? And we will see you all in the next one. All right, cheers.